before a couple of days ago, I hadn't stood on a skateboard for like 11 years.
Hey, what? Whoa! George, that's why you were barking at me.
Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. My name's Will, and I'm gonna get right into the good stuff here, but first, I need to get some coffee.
Who are you, and what are you doing here?
No, back up, back up. Welcome to the garage! Woo!
The drink that drives the dreams of champions. Like I said in the intro, my name's Will. I'm 35 and 2/3 years old. I live here in gorgeous Fredericton, New Brunswick with my lovely wife Devin and our wonderful dog George Harrison, and I'm a skater. Here's a question for the video. If you're once a skater, are you always a skater? Thoughts down below. I think yes, you are. Skater's a frame of mind, right? It's a way of like looking at the world. Like when you go see, like you go to a big city and you're like walking around downtown and everybody else is looking up at the architecture, you're looking at the handrails and you're looking at the ledges and you're like, oh my gosh, if Jamie Thomas was here, he could like pop a huge like back, like kick flip over that and like stomp it and roll away. That would look so sick in the video part. That's what being a skater's all about. Step off. So the purpose of this channel, at least right now, is to document my return to skateboarding. I haven't stood on a skateboard, well, before a couple of days ago, I hadn't stood on a skateboard for like 11 years or so, like that. I started skateboarding when I was a preteen, and I kind of stopped skateboarding when I graduated high school. I did a bunch of other board sports and other like athletic endeavors kind of in between that time. And yeah, so what I want this video at least to be, is I'm going to talk about my history with skateboarding, and I want to talk about why I'm getting back into skateboarding, and kind of just my philosophy behind what skateboarding means to me, and how I can use skateboarding to continue to get inspired and be passionate in life, right? Skateboarding has always been something that has inspired great passion inside of me, and I felt no reason not to get back into that, really. So, like I said, we're going to do a couple of parts here. And so we're going to move on and we're going to talk about a little bit of history of Will and skateboarding. Let's call it Skateboarding, a Love Story, or how I learned to stop worrying about the bomb. I'm going to try to do like a Bertleman slide. I don't really know how this can work. Back after a quick wardrobe change. So, let me paint a picture for you. The year is 1999. Y2K is a thing. You got Fatboy Slim. You got Eminem. The Matrix is in theaters. The Sopranos is on HBO. And a little game called Tony Hawk's Pro Skater is sweeping the entire world, incepting into the minds of impressionable youths everywhere the idea that skateboarding is cool. And that's exactly what my little brother and I thought as soon as we started playing Tony Hawk. We couldn't spend enough time playing it. It was so cool. Skateboarding seemed like this amazing thing that was this like artistic, athletic endeavor that had music and art all rolled in together. And it was just so cool for us. Quick guitar break. So it was about a year later when my brother got his board. He got a skateboard before I did, and he immediately took to it. It took about another year after that for me to get a board, and I remember quite vividly my mom asking me if I wanted to get into skateboarding, and I did, but I was pretty nervous and like non-confident and kind of shy at that age. And I kind of told her, I was like, well, like, I'd like to, but I think I'm too old. at 13. And she was like, William, that's crazy. You're a kid, like you're 13 years old. You can do anything. And I was just really inspired by how much she believed in me and specifically what she said about, you can do anything. So the next time that we went to the city, I went to Toys R Us and I bought a skateboard. It's what the other guys in my crew and in town kind of, how do we phrase this? Derogatorily referred to as a Nash board or a toy skateboard. I think Nash was a company in the 80s. I don't really know. Let me know if you do. So that board was basically a toy, and I'm going to show you exactly why. Hold on one second. Pull this thing off the wall. So this is a skateboard, obviously. We're going to look at the top of it here, and you see that there's a whole bunch of shapes going on, right? There's like a tail, there's a nose, there's a concrete, well, not a concrete wave, there's a concave kind of wave left to right. And what those shapes help you do when you ride a skateboard is they help the skateboard conform to the whims of your feet and where you want to go and what you want the board to do. That first board I got was basically a totally flat plank of wood. Skateboards also have grip tape on the top, and you can hear how abrasive that is. And that's just to help keep you on the board and give you control. And that skateboard I had, its grip tape was only grip tape by virtue of the fact that it was named grip tape. It was not really grippy whatsoever. Another like key difference between toy skateboards and kind of like enthusiast skateboards or pro level skateboards is that the wheels and the bearings will spin forever too. That Toys R Us board that I had, it stopped after like 2 spins. It didn't ride straight or anything, but I loved it. And I skated that thing for probably 2 or 3 months, like every day. In the summertime, like every day. And my mom, probably seeing that I was like serious about this and that it was something that I enjoyed doing, the next time we went to Fredericton, she took me to the skate shop and she bought me my first complete. Eastside Board Supply, which at the time was down on Queen Street. This is about the year 2000. And yeah, it was amazing. So I got a new complete. Shorty's Deck Grind King trucks. I don't remember what the other components were. But Eastside also had a mini ramp in the back of the shop at that time, a private mini ramp. So my mom, being the cool mom that she was, she signed a couple of waivers, we got a couple helmets, and she set us loose on this mini ramp. So my brother Warren, like I'd mentioned, he took to skateboarding really quickly. He'd been skating for about a year. Excuse me, sorry, I got a frog in my throat. He'd been skating for about a year at that time. He figured out the ramp quickly. He dropped in like immediately. He was doing like rock fakies. He was doing backside axle stalls. He took a couple of slams, but he just got up and kept going. I tried to drop in once. I completely ate it. I didn't even try to warm up on like the transition or anything. I just tried to drop in, totally ate it. And I was actually scared of riding transitions for like 2 years following that. I was like totally a street skater focused skater. I was terrified of riding like curved ramps because I was scared I was going to kick out. I eventually kind of got over that. But yeah, we were hooked. And for the next like 4 years, the 4 or 5 years, we lived skateboarding 100%. We skated outside when it was nice out. When it was not nice out, we skateboarded in the garage. And when we weren't allowed to skateboard in the garage, we watched skate videos, played skate video games, talked about skateboarding, and just generally dreamt about skateboarding. Our town didn't really have much of a skate park. At the time, it was kind of like an old crummy pad of asphalt behind the hockey arena that was full of like some DIY ramps that a bunch of the guys in the scene had kind of built beforehand. And some of them were okay, some of them were terrible. But it was Woodward for us. We loved it. We all got used to having terrible run-ups and terrible run-outs and not having a lot of time or smooth concrete to set up for tricks or anything like that. But that was the way it was. We did some street skating too, much to the chagrin of a lot of the townsfolk where we grew up. And, because skateboarding, it was not really accepted yet at that time, even though, the X Games were on ESPN and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater was all over the place. It had multiple sequels, and it was a cultural phenomenon. It was still not accepted, really. So, yeah, so we spent those years just loving skateboarding, and it was great. Skateboarding also turned me on to music in a major way, like amazing punk rock and metal and new wave bands. It turned me on to playing guitar and taking like my own music seriously and being in bands and stuff like that. Visual art, that whole thing is wrapped up in skateboarding so nicely. And it's just one of the things that makes skateboarding and skateboarding culture so fun and inspiring to me. Well, I think that's going to be the end of the video. It's rainy. It's about 5:30. Work has been well over for the day. And it's time to walk the dog and have some food and have a good Friday night. So thanks for watching my video. If you liked it, I would really appreciate it if you liked it, maybe subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna bring more videos to the channel in the future. Today was just really kind of an introduction so you get to know who I am a little bit. Tomorrow morning, rain depending, I'm gonna meet up at the Garrison skate park with a couple of the guys from the OFSC, which is the aptly named Old Farts Skate Club of Fredericton. So, yeah, expect more videos incoming. Until next time, shred you later. I've been Will, and I will see you on the flip side.